All right, 41 says find the value of x. They tell me L and M are parallel lines, and my diagram is not to scale. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at this angle here and this angle here and figure out what type of angles I have. Those two are going to be corresponding angles. They're in the same spot, and I know corresponding angles are congruent. So I know that 3x equals 150. These two angles are going to be the same size. To solve for x, we're going to divide both sides by 3. When I do that, I get x equals 50, and that would be my final answer. 41 says line R is parallel to line T. Find the measure of angle 6. The diagram is not to scale. So I notice I have this angle here, which is 137, and I have angle 6. I know 137 and angle 6. If I look at my line here, they're on the same side. And if I draw my little rectangle, they're on the outside. So they're same side exterior angles. Remember, if we have same side angles, they add to 180. So I know that 137 plus angle 6 equals 180. To solve, we're just going to subtract 137 from both sides. When I do that, we get angle 6 equals 180 minus 137, which should give me 43. And my answer would be angle 7 equals 43 degrees. Or angle 6, sorry, I don't know why I wrote 7 here. I was still solving for angle 6, I just got distracted. All right, and that is your answer. (42) says find the measure of angle P. My diagram is not to scale, but it does tell me two things. These little arrows mean that these two lines are parallel, and this one is parallel to this one. So our lines are all parallel to each other. I'm going to get rid of them so I can draw my picture, but I know this angle here is 43 degrees, and I have to find the measure of P. All right, if I let's start out by finding this little angle here. I know my red one and my blue ones are same side interior angles. Let's call this one x, which tells me that x plus 143 would equal 180. Because they're same side angles, they should add to 180. So we're going to subtract 143 from both sides. And we get x equals 1, excuse me, not 1, but x would equal 37. All right, if I look at my angle x and my angle p, imagine we're just looking at line G here, and then we make our inside here. Those two, x and p, are alternate interior angles. So those two are going to be congruent. And I know x equals 37, which tells me that angle P has to equal 37. So all I did was I started out by looking at these two angles here and solving for x. And then I switched which line I was looking at and looked sideways, and I knew those two had to be equal to each other. So angle P should be 37. 43, find the measure of angle G. So we're looking for this one in the end. We know that P and R are parallel to each other. Now if I look at G, I also have this angle here, which is 36. If I look at my red line, oops, sorry, that was green. If I look at my red line, they're on alternate sides. So we have alternate. And then if I make my little blue rectangle, they're on the outside, so they're alternate exterior angles. And I know that alternate exterior angles are congruent. So I know angle G is going to equal 36 degrees. They're alternate exterior, they have to be congruent, they should be equal to each other. So G is 36. And 44, it says find the measure, or find the value of x for which L is parallel to M. The diagram is not to scale. So if I look at this angle here, and this one here, if we look at this side, or this line, they're on alternate sides, so we have alternate. And if I make my little rectangle, or parallelogram, they're on the inside, so they're alternate interior angles. And I know alternate interior angles are congruent, so they have to be equal to each other. So 4x minus 33 should equal 83. From there, you're just solving for x. So figure out what type of angles they are. Are they equal to each other or are they congruent? In our case, they're equal. To move my 33 to both sides, we're going to add it. So plus 33 to both sides. We get 4x equals 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 16. And then we're going to divide both sides by 4. When I do that, I get x equals, all right, x equals 29. We did 116 divided by 4. And that's going to be my final answer. If you want, you could plug 29 in for x here. So take this guy, plug it in. You should get 83. If you don't, something went wrong. But it should be good to go.